operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying, let's sit around the table, let's drop some plans, let's put numbers together, let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, where your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome everybody in Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Nick Wyman's sitting in here tonight. Austin leaving. A little under the weather. You know, that might be an excuse, though, to get out for the national championship, I think. Tom, are you with us? Tom, can you hear us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. How are you doing,
Cool.
Tom? I don't think we've ever met. I'm Nick Wyman here, not Austin Orman. I know Harrison's filled in. We're playing musical chairs on you.
That's cool. It's it's just like Nebraska basketball. Next man up.
Exactly. We got a really good depth and really good rotation over here.
That's right.
I think that's a great thing to have, not only in basketball but just in the working environment, I guess, as well. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, how are you been? It's a little chilly out there today. Just a tad.
Good. I just I was in Miami this weekend. I went down to the football writers meeting, and I flew home last night and came back, and there was Mike Eckler's stories, not necessarily news, but stories and speculation and anger and crazy emotions, and it's just another week on the Nebraska football beat, I guess. Yeah,
I mean that was our first story we were about to talk about. There was the Mike Eckler situation. It's still kind of unraveling, I guess, in a sense. It's nothing. I mean, there's really no news.
Literally, yeah.
there's no news to report on it, but
I know.
At the same time, it's still, it's in Husker fans, media, you name it. It's in the news. Like, I mean, your thoughts in general, just because it's kind of a unique situation where you have a coach who is, really, I mean, the special teams, when he turned around the special teams in just a small sample size, and all of a sudden here you are, maybe he might be dipping to another Big Ten school or what else. I guess, what are your just thoughts and opinions on the situation with the Mike Ekeler situation so far?
Yeah, I just think it's very curious. I don't know. We haven't heard from Mike Ekeler at all on this thing, and there are reports that he's going to go to USC, but he's still on the Nebraska website as the special teams coach, and so you have all the speculation, and yet the weird thing for me was Matt Rule coming out on another show or podcast maybe, and then on his own radio show talking about him like almost like he's gone, and almost like, well, if he's doesn't want to be here, or we want people that are all in, and I've never met anybody in my life more all in than Mike Ekeler, but I don't know the whole story. I don't think we don't know what's going on. So it just seemed curious to me that the head coach would have quotes basically saying, if he's leaving, we're going to be okay. We've already got a plan to replace him. I mean, it sounded to me like he's being told to leave almost. I mean, usually a head coach doesn't say that. I mean, if it's somebody you value and somebody you want, you don't say, go ahead and go, we'll be okay. I mean, maybe Eckler's trying to leave and trying to play both sides and get this or that. And, what I wrote for tomorrow was that, this apparently is based around this idea that he wants to coach defense. He wants to be a defensive linebackers coach or what have you. And I just was, I don't know. Again, we don't know if that's the case, but if it is, would that be a surprise? I mean, look at his resume. I mean, he's a special teams guru extraordinaire, maybe the best in the country. But everywhere he's been, he coached defense. For the Tennessee before Nebraska, he was the linebackers coach. Before that, he stopped at North Texas. He was a defensive coordinator for a year. Before that, KU, he coached some defense. And that was actually the first time that he was a special teams coordinator at KU. Before that, Georgia, trying to think of somewhere else, but he had 2 or 3 stops where he coached linebackers. And his whole career, even coming up out of college at K-State, he was a defensive grad assistant at Oklahoma, and then also LSU. So his whole career has been defense. He's a defensive guy. He's been a defensive coach. I just say, why is this coming up all of a sudden now? I mean, wouldn't that have been something that he and Matt Rule would have discussed a year ago when he was hired? That, hey, I see you coach defense your whole career. Is that something you want to do here eventually? Or I'm just saying, wouldn't that have come up? And maybe it did, but I just find it curious that it's happening now, after they've already hired a defensive coordinator who's going to bring his own guys in.
Yeah, you're right. It's very interesting because, like, I have the resume here. Grad assistant, Oklahoma, LSU. Then he was a linebackers coach at Nebraska for a couple of years, and then went to Indiana, USC, Georgia, North Texas. He had 2 stints at Tennessee. The last couple of years was outside linebackers coach and special teams. Then Nebraska. It's fascinating because it's not only is he looking for another job allegedly, but it's also in the same conference who is Nebraska has played tightly the last couple of years.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if he's trying to go, he wants to get back on the defense. Maybe that's what he's doing here. He's shopping himself around. Perhaps again, I don't know that. I can't say that for certain. We haven't heard from him. But if that's what he's doing, I don't know. Does he know that? Does he know Gary Patterson? Probably the former TCU head coach and is a defensive legend is going to be USC's next defensive coordinator, which is a hell of a move. Does he know Gary Patterson? I mean, maybe they have a connection together. Maybe they don't. I mean, so maybe that's suddenly the holdup why he's not going because of that. But also, Lincoln Riley is on the hot seat, man. I mean, he has a huge buyout. What does that mean anymore? I mean, if he doesn't get things going there in a like a 9 or 10 win way next year, I mean, I think people at USC are going to start looking for a way to get him out. So is that what you want to walk into? I mean, maybe the special teams can help, but I don't know. I guess I was under the impression, man, he's had a long career. He just wanted to, come home to Nebraska, help get this thing going, turned around. I find the whole thing curious. Is it a clash of wills or egos between the two men who didn't really know each other before this year, Rule and Eckler? So a lot of questions, a lot of speculation, a lot of things to talk about and also write about. So one day we'll have facts, I guess.
Yeah, it makes your job interesting. That's for sure. There's a lot. Lincoln Riley, you mentioned a little bit of Lincoln Riley. Oklahoma a couple of years made the playoff. That was a shocking move when he went to USC. All of a sudden, he had 11 wins in his first year there when they were in the Pac-12. Then been 8-5, 7-6, 9-4 the last couple of years. It's an odd situation because if he's just trying to become a defensive coordinator or get a defensive job, why doesn't Nebraska just give him, okay, you can coach linebackers along with your special teams duties or something, because Rob Orich got hired and then maybe he got passed over. I don't know. That's all speculation. We don't know that. It's such an interesting situation because you'd think by now we'd know the final say, Eckler, is he at Nebraska or is he at USC or whatnot? Here we are after a weekend, still nothing set in stone.
Well, another thing I was looking at was I understand giving Rob Orich, the autonomy or the total say-so to hire his, the defensive staff, of course, other than the linebackers and the defensive backs, but he's never coached a Power 4 game in his life. And so that's fine. It may not matter. He may be that good. He may just need to take the talent and just set their hair on fire, and there we go. But at some point, it helps to have that experience. And I was like, well, wouldn't you want to have Eckler on that defensive staff? Because he's been in a lot of these different places. But then I looked at the guys that Arch is bringing in. They do have those experiences. So, Manning and the new defensive line coach Brown, they've at least played at that level or they've been around it. So I think that's fine. So I understand why you want to give Arch, but I just think this is a weird story because you want to keep this guy if you can. You can't just say, well, we know how he's taught us how to play special teams now. We know how to do it. We'll be okay without him. Well, no, it isn't the scheme. His scheme is nothing, it's the secret, the magic to Mike Eckler is how you do it, not what you do, but how you do it and the purpose, the attention to detail, the passion. That's the thing that, you can't replace. So I just, maybe they're trying all they can to keep him and he just won't stay, or there's other things going on here. But
Yeah,
it's always something, man. It's always something.
Yeah, and there's always something new. I feel like Nebraska fans have been through a lot, and they haven't played a game since New Year's Eve. There was that game happened, and you had the Kenny Minchie saga, and it's like, all right, that's kind of unprecedented. And then you have this. So I have the stat here. So under Mike Eckler's leadership last year, Nebraska blocked 3 field goals and 2 punts. The Huskers did not allow a punt or blocked field goals in 2025. Additionally, Nebraska ranked 12th nationally in kick return defense, 13th nationally in yards per kick return, and 88th nationally in net punting. So, like you said, you mentioned he's a coach you're going to run through a brick wall for. Along with that, he has that statistical. The Nebraska special teams before Eckler walked in the door was you had to cross your fingers every time the kicking unit came out, a punting unit came out. Now at Eckler, there was always some big play. So to add on to your point about how, he's got that fiery attitude, he's going to get you fired up for, whether you're playing 11 a.m. or 7 p.m., he also has the statistical records to back it up.
Yeah, it was clearly better this year. We all noticed it. We all saw it. And there were games where it changed the game. It helped Nebraska win some of those games. They won 7 in large part because the special teams was there to, either add 7 points or save it. But there's a lot more to do. He wasn't great. He was good. He was great. And you want great. And yes, I understand that special teams, you can't make that the priority. The defense has to be the priority. But I wouldn't want to take a step back on it. I think it's not like, it may not decide things, but if you don't have good special teams, it could go the other way in a hurry. So, I just feel like this is the way, what they're doing now is the way it should be all the time. So it's the way it should have been from the very beginning in year one. Mm-hmm. It's the way it should have been under Scott Frost and Mike Riley, and just, caring about special teams. It's the way it should always be, no matter what you're doing. So, this is I don't know how big a year it's going to be next year. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of question marks on Nebraska. Some things that could be really good and better, but a lot of tough opponents. So I don't know, expectations will be that high, but you don't want to take a step back on special teams. You don't want to cost yourself a game or two because you had a punt blocked or somebody returned one on you. You don't want to. You want to be as good as you can there, and also, the thing about the staff is, it's just like every year there's some kind of change on the. Mm-hmm. They need continuity. They need to keep the same staff for a while. Yeah. Austin and I talk about this every week. Is people, if things go 6-6 or 7-5 next year, there'll be all kinds of people yelling and screaming, and I'm like, they just need to calm down. Nebraska needs to calm down and just keep winning for a while. Let's not look at year 4 as the end of the world. Let's look at 4, 5, and 6 as we try to get better and improve, and maybe get to that level. But just keep things going. Get continuity. Stack winning seasons. Stack, good wins, and try to get better wins for next year. But I just think Nebraska football needs a little sanity right now. And this would be another move that would just be like, okay, now I guess we're starting over again on special teams. So at some point you can't, we're starting over on defense, and you can't offensive line. So, you can't keep doing this every year. So,
so on that podcast, Matt Rule talked last Wednesday. Quote he said was, "What I can tell you is that right in the middle of the season, we offered Mike Eckler a huge extension. He's done a great job, a huge extension to make him either the first or second highest paid special teams coordinator," Rule said on that podcast. But at the end of the day, people preserve people. I know Mike's a Nebraskan. He wanted to come back and be a part of this, but people have other things. Mike Eckler also has been a defensive coordinator. He's also been part of things, and obviously we hired Rob Orch to do the defense. Mike's done a great job on special teams. That was one of the quotes that Matt Rule talked about last Wednesday on that podcast that went viral. It was all over the place because there was rumors going around, and then Matt Rule addressed it. You kind of touched on it, just revolving door of coaches. In college football, only so many teams can kind of get away with that.
Yeah, well, maybe this is a case based on that quote of Mike Eckler coming here last year and saying, I'll be a special teams coach. I'm not going to coach defense. And this is a case of, well, a year later, him deciding, I really wish I was coaching defense again. And that's going to happen here. Maybe I better go. So, and him trying to find a place to go. So, one foot in, one foot out. That's just something I'm throwing out. Again, we don't know what exactly, what has happened. So, or what is happening. So, if that was true, that they offered him a great contract and one of the best, and making the best special teams, the highest paid, then yeah, if that's what he's saying, then that it was something on Mike Eckler's end is not holding that up. So, or is interested in something else. So, who knows? We got a basketball team to talk about too. I get tired of the shenanigans over that program.
It's a good pivot. So, last question before we go to break.
Yeah.
When do you think we see a resolution to this Mike Eckler saga? I guess is.
I don't know. Who knows? I didn't know it was going to happen. So, I guess it's up to USC if that's where he's supposed to be going. It's up to USC to hire him, I guess. But again, if it's a defense he's after, and they haven't hired a defensive coordinator yet, so maybe that's what this is all going on right now. Maybe they're trying to figure out who their coordinator is and then what that staff will look like. So, and maybe Lincoln Riley is trying to talk Gary Patterson into hiring Mike Eckler as his linebacker coach, and Gary Patterson might have other ideas. So, all of a sudden, Mike Eckler comes back to Nebraska because he had nowhere else to go. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just there's a story behind this at some point, but it's. I think I think right now USC is probably the answer. So yeah, we'll see.
It's a crazy story. 402-464-5685 on the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line if you want to chime in on the situation. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the new additions to the coaching staff that were announced this past weekend, and maybe some Nebraska ball because they're kind of a big deal. They're kind of a big deal, Tom, a little bit. So we're gonna go to break. 92.7 The Ticket. Nick Wyman here with Tom Shatel, Husker Football Power Hour.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. Let's put numbers together. Let's get a budget put together. and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
All right, fellas, it's January. You're setting goals, you're hitting the gym, but have you checked what's going on inside the engine? At Advanced Medical Imaging, the Wellness Within program makes it easy. They have different levels of preventive scans so you can choose exactly what fits your health goals. From quick baseline checks to full body insights. It's simple, it's smart, and it's all about keeping you in top form before problems ever sneak up. And the best part, you don't need a doctor's order. Just call AMI to schedule and make this the year you put your health on the schedule.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel, Nick Wyman, filling in for Austin Norman, who felt a little under the weather, but pinch hitting, as they say, pinch hitting here on a Monday. Tom Shatel, still there in the Omaha World Herald. Talked about Mike Eckler, the full first segment of the show. I mean, we could have talked on for another couple more segments, Tom, honestly. Crazy situation. Mike, Tom, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Just making sure you're the guy. I'm just here. I'm like the Kobe to your Shaq. You are. I'm just giving you alley oops. That's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for.
I'm just happy to be here.
That's a great answer there. So, with that, we transition. Nebraska made 2 more hires. They hired 2 new defensive assistant coaches. So the first one was Corey Brown. He comes in with 20 years of experience as a defensive assistant around college football. And there was Miles Taylor as the safeties coach. Tom, initial thoughts on these 2 guys who Nebraska hired together last Friday, I believe. So it got put together real quick, but Corey Brown, defensive line coach, and Miles Taylor as the safeties coach.
Well, there's a couple angles here. One is, you don't have to be, you can be at Miami of Ohio or excuse me, in the MAC and be a very good coach. You don't, because you're not a Power 4 guy, doesn't mean anything. He Corey played, I believe, at Iowa, so he knows what it, and I just think any Big Ten experience on that staff is a good thing. We haven't had nearly enough of that in the last since Nebraska's been in the Big Ten. They go away from that kind of experience. I think it's just valuable. It's a league where it's just important that you know what you're in for and what's going to work and what's not going to work. And so I like the fact that he's got that. I just think, and the other part of it is, these are guys that Rob Arch is, if I'm pronouncing that right, I haven't talked to him yet, but, Rob Arch is he knows these guys and he's very comfortable with them. And there's something to be said for that. It'll make his transition that much better. If he's got guys, he knows, there's a lot of pressure on this hire. I mean, you can't keep changing defensive coordinators. This guy needs to work out. And by count, everything he said and done, it's going to be good. But we've got to see it first. And more important than this isn't about scheme, and that's something John Butler, was about scheme, and that's very much of a NFL style. NFL, everything is about the pre-snap looks and the disguises and trying to fake you and trying to make you do this when you're actually going to do that or when they're going to do that, and that's not college football, and that's not Big Ten. Big Ten and college football is one guy across from the other guy, man versus man. Who's going to win? Who's going to beat the other guy? That's Big Ten football. That's college football. It's about talent and about size and desire and just guys running around with an endless motor trying to tackle the ball. That's what the best Nebraska defense has always had. Charlie McBride, famously was, everybody got upset 1999 when Nebraska had just lost to the Texas Longhorns, and I believe it was Major Applewhite, the quarterback, that came out and said, "Well, their defense isn't really calculus." Mm-hmm. And people thought it was an insult. But he was complimenting him. It was basically they play great defense, and they don't try to fool you. They just try to whip you. They just try to beat you. And all those Grant Wistrom and all those guys, that's the best defenses the rest ever had talent, but they had motors. They had guys who wanted to beat you up and every single play. And so that's what great defense is. So. I thought John Butler got into the deal where it was trying to fool people, and it was all about the secondary. And so I like what Arch is saying. Well, let's go to the ball. Well, it's about the way you get ready and it's more about the individual player and doing his job and doing it all together. Yeah. Not so much the coach. So, you know what I mean? So I feel like if these guys fit in with what Arch wants to do, then I love it. Mm-hmm. Bring it on.
Exactly.
But the bottom line is, who knows? Nobody knows.
You could throw, I know, it's like you just throw them into a hat and see how it sticks. It's been like that way with coordinators for Nebraska the last couple of years, no matter the position group. So Corey Brown, he's a Miami, Ohio defensive line coach from 2014 to 2018. And then he had stint back from 2023 to 2025. Last year, the Miami, Ohio Redhawks defense totaled 40 sacks in 2025. You mentioned former Iowa defensive lineman from 95 to 99. I think that's when you were describing Big Ten football, the 95, 2000 range is what I kind of envisioned. And seeing this guy in an Iowa uniform, it's like, yeah, he probably could hit some guys back in the day. I would assume. And he coached Rob Orich, like you mentioned, at South Dakota in 2021. So he has those ties. I think that's a good fit, because if you're switching guys around in position groups, you just hope they have some kind of continuity and kind of a brotherhood, because these guys all know each other. They know what they coach like. They know how they coach. You have the right scheme. Rob Orich bringing over a couple of his players should help in a way, I would assume, for defense, because they know what to expect out of him.
Well, and they're going to coach the way Matt Rule wants it to go. Mm-hmm. I don't know why we waited the year to do this when, Macy didn't talk to John Butler enough about what he was going to do, but he apparently didn't do anything they wanted to do. So that it's kind of wasted a year almost on defense, but that's the way it goes. I'm concerned about the players, Nick. This Iowa Western guy, I was excited. I was fired up about this, and now he's gone. In a week's time. Last week he was here, now he's gone. It's like these are the things that can change a team, can change a season. I'm not saying this guy's going to be an unbelievable player, but guys like that help. And so it's about players. It's about building the depth on offensive, defensive line. That's what this program has been about, receivers and quarterbacks way too long.
So you mentioned so the former Iowa Western defensive lineman was Andy Bareba. He committed to Clemson. Yeah. He was in the Nebraska recruiting class for 8 days, so a little over a week. That is the transfer portal in a nutshell. So he had 14 sacks in his 2 seasons with Iowa Western, with 78 tackles and 27.5 tackles for a loss. So you don't know if it's a big loss or not. It's hard to compare JUCO, but it's still like, I also look back to this. Nebraska didn't hire a defensive line coach until, the portal's kind of already come and, it's kind of already did its thing. You hire a defensive line coach, and then stuff starts to change. It's not just only happening in Nebraska. It's happened across college football, where coaches leave and then players go, I'm going to hop into the portal, or player leaves because their coach left. It's such an evolving world, and the portal's just kind of added a layer to college football. And this is one that Nebraska's seen it twice now. So the Kenny Minchie, how he was kind of locked into Nebraska for about 48 hours, I guess, give or take. And then you have this with Iowa Western. It's a very odd situation.
Yeah. Like Dave Remington came out and said, and I agree with him. He said, so we should change the word from commitment to something else. These guys say I'm just committed to. Well, no, you didn't. That's yes. Not the meaning of that word. It's the opposite a lot of times. These guys transferring, they don't know anything about the word commitment. So I agree. Let's start calling us something else. But I don't know why it took long enough to hire the guy from Miami, Ohio. That's something they could have done a long time ago. So who knows? Again, you just got to go with it. But this offensive defensive line needed help, and I think they got it. We'll see how it all again, a lot of offensive lines don't. It's not like instant, iced tea or something. You don't just pour it into a glass and shake it. And offensive lines take a year or two. Those guys have got to play together, and they're not going to do it in the spring or the summer. It's going to be a deal where, you do a lot of that, every day of practice, repetition after repetition over a whole season. And the good old-fashioned Nebraska offensive lines came up in over time. They sat up for 2 or 3 years, and they were on the scout team together, and they came up as sophomores and juniors, and eventually got on the field together. So it's hard. I don't know how these teams do it.
Yeah, I mean, for the offensive line, there's only so much. I mean, you can't just pick 5 guys and plug them in there and be like, all right, go get them, guys. There's off season is going to be very detrimental because you got Babalade, Brendan Black. There's a couple other guys named the guy from LSU they just got. There's a couple names, but it's like it's such a unique situation with that. Then you have the defensive line coach. You have the Mike Eckler saga. We didn't touch on Miles Taylor. He's the new safeties coach. He spent the 2025 season as coaching for the LA Chargers before joining the Husker staff. He helped the team to the AFC playoff appearance with the Chargers and ranked top 5 in NFL in both passing and total defense. Before his time with the Chargers, Taylor spent 5 seasons as a defensive backs coach at South Dakota, where he worked 2 seasons with Rob Orich. So another Rob Orich coaching philosophy guy. So nice to have that. The O-line situation, I wasn't going to bring it up, but it's so interesting because it's, you get a new quarterback and Anthony Calandria, and you add some depth. You have TJ Latif still there, and then you have a guy like Danny Kalen now, and then you are just kind of pick and plugging linemen now. I'm just curious how the offense is going to look because those quarterbacks I named all play a really different style.
Yeah, it's and they didn't add to the running back room, and the offensive line looks better with the new offensive line coach, who's got his way of doing things. And so, yeah, there's a lot going on next year. I don't know that you can have, high expectations for that offense. We'll see. But to me, it starts with the coordinator. And what are we doing? What's the offense? What's the identity? And no, it's not an overused word. It's a crucial word in college football. Identity. You don't win without an identity. And I think the identity for Nebraska the last couple of years was Dylan Raiola. That was the identity. I felt like everything was revolving around him and making him happy and doing what he could. And in good times and bad. I mean, even the games where he was sacked 9 times, it was about him being sacked. So I feel like we need to get away from that a little bit and now maybe create this identity. And I'm anxious to see what it is because early in the process, you might recall we asked Dana Holgerson, well, what kind of quarterback do you want? It was portal. What are you looking for? And his answer was the best available. And that's not an identity. That's like, okay, we're going to try to, almost like we're going to just try to do whatever we can to win games next year and just try to get by next year. And just like, this program doesn't need to worry about the short term. It needs to build for the long term. It needs to build, not only the culture, but the systems and the way you play. What offense are you physical? Well, every year we get this thing. Yeah, now we're going to be physical. Well, you have to talk about it. It means that you're not. So it's. I just feel like it'd be nice to have an identity this year in offense, and something to kind of build toward. Because again, the game I'm watching tonight, Indiana, they're going to be there next year. Ohio State's going to be there. They're going to play Oregon. I mean, Iowa, Illinois. I mean, these guys are going to get better too. And so, you can't put a lot of chips in the next season. It would be nice to build toward something down the road. I know people don't want to hear that. It's the last thing they want to hear about because they're up to here with waiting.
Yep.
But I'm just giving them reality. What are you seeing right now out of that Vegas Bowl? What are you seeing in this program right now? It is where it is. So, you know what I mean? So I just think offense, and I love Daniel Kaling. I just love that so much. And he might be the guy. I mean, don't count him out.
Exactly. Yes. Local kid.
I think Daniel Holgerson is going to throw it. I think he's always going to throw it. But whether he runs it or not may depend on the line and the offense, the running backs. But if the quarterback can run a little bit more, maybe not designed, but just being able to go make some plays, maybe that's what the Vegas kid can do. I love it. I love guys who just make plays. I don't need 5 stars, 4 stars, any of that stuff. I just need somebody to go out and make some plays. I told Austin this, my favorite guy was Joe Gans.
Yep, quarterback. He can sling it. He can sling
Taylor, it. And he can bet he would just make a play. He wouldn't look, wasn't going to be pretty, but he'd get first downs and he would make throws. So, anyway,
we're going to go to break here, but we're going to talk about 2 teams that do have an identity in Miami and Indiana, who are kicking off here in a matter of moments down in Miami for the 2025-2026 national championship. So you're listening to Husker Football Hour. Tom Shatel, Nick Wyman, Tom Shatel. We'll be right back.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Clear your calendar. It's a volleyball weekend in Omaha. Love Nebraska returns to Baxter Arena for back-to-back home matches on January 30th and February 1st, facing Love Madison and Love Austin. 2 matches, 2 chances to see your hometown team compete as the season heats up. Featuring Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson taking on the likes of Lauren Carlini and Maddie Skinner, and special moments throughout the weekend. This is your opportunity to catch all the action live. Make it one night or both nights. Get your tickets now at lobbneb.com/tickets.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call
John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing. Heating
and electrical.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the Husker Football Power Hour with Tom Shatel. Tom, big game tonight going on down in Miami. You said you're just there in Florida. Now, you're not there for the national championship? What are we doing?
Well, I was down there for a football writers meeting on my own dime. The World Herald is not covering it, so and that's fine. I've covered many of these, and there's nothing like it. It's a little bit late. It's January 19th, and I guess next year it's going to be January 25th next year. So it's just I don't know. There's a lot of things that are great about the playoff, and yet it still needs work. And I just don't like who's in charge of it right now.
The timeline is so different just because, I feel like there's just, New Year, portal's open for a long time. The bowl games have been wrapped up since the 2nd of January. And next year, like you said, it's going to be played in the 25th or something like that, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but it's somewhere in there. We had a quick segment here. I guess, what are your just thoughts on the national championship as a whole? You got pretty good story in Indiana. They're kind of the turnaround of the sport, maybe the sports world, if you throw it that way. I mean, a team that was, a basketball school for years. Now they are the number 1 team in the country, and they're playing a team that's playing in their home stadium in the Miami Hurricanes, who have Carson Beck and Mario Cristobal looking for a championship.
Well, it's a fun matchup. To me, there's a couple of things. Miami at home in the national title game are 3-1. 3 of those games were against Nebraska. The one loss came from Nebraska in '94, but those were all in the old Orange Bowl, which I drove past it this week. It was just a gaudy looking dome type thing. That's where the Miami Marlins play. Yep. And then on the side of the old Orange Bowl. But this is the first time Miami's played for a national title in Joe Robbie Stadium, as I call it. So we'll see what happens. I just think that it's going to revolve around the Miami kid, Fernando Mendoza. He's so poised and so good and does everything right and never gets rattled. But he's playing his first time, I believe, in the stadium in college, where he grew up. He grew up, and he was a big Miami Hurricane fan. So I just want, when he's staring across the line at those helmets, in uniforms, what's going to be going through his head? Is he gonna? And sometimes we've seen great players, Heisman winners in big games like this. They're just a little bit off, or It's so I'm anxious to see how I think the game will go as he goes.
Yep, that game's kicking off here in a bit. Who are you picking tonight? Just make a quick pick before we get out of here.
Oh, I picked Indiana close.
Close. I like it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a blowout either way. I just don't think this game is. I think Miami's very good. Indiana had a tough time with Iowa, a tough time with the Penn State game came down to a play. Ohio State for the Big Ten title was really close.
Yep.
They don't blow everybody out. They have games where, but the common denominator is they always find a way to win. So I'm gonna go Indiana close.
I like it. I'm also going Indiana. It'd be a good story for college football. So we're out of time here on Husker Football Hour. Tom Shatel, Nick Wyman. The first time we've been on the show together. We'll see if that sticks next week. We'll keep you in the loop. We'll have to throw another body in here. We're going to show off our depth here at the ticket.
There you go.
As you said, Nebraska basketball, we're just like them. We show a lot of depth. So thanks for tuning in.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in. All In with Ridge Lovett and Caleb Smith is coming up. Stick with us here on 94.7 The Ticket.